Welcome back to the financial edge, financial freedom edge, that is, because we all want financial freedom. And I'm talking about my newest strategy to achieve that. So I went to a meetup last night of other real estate investors, and I gained a little bit more clarity about what I want as an investor and how to go about achieving that. And I wanted to share that with you guys. So here's the deal. Right now, at the current price points and interest rates, single family residences do not make sense as an investment. Can't convince me otherwise. At least in my neck of the woods, right? The coastal communities, right? Washington, Oregon, California, New York, Florida for some weird reason is actually different, but there's, on the east and west coast, right? But where I'm at, single family residences do not make sense as investments. You will not cash flow unless you buy a POS property, put $100,000 into it, and then even then might not even make sense. So with that bit of knowledge, I've decided, okay, I'll flip properties. If you flip a property and sell it to, mom and dad home buyer or whatever, a family that isn't looking for an investment, you can make money doing that. So I'm actively looking for flips so I can generate more cash because I need the cash to pay off my home equity line of credit because I used it to buy a fourplex. And as you guys can tell, since I have 2 fourplexes and a house, I believe in multifamily properties. And I've struggled with the idea of how to make more money and how to scale. And really the only place for me to go from fourplexes is to more, right? To commercial lending, right? 5 units or more. And I really thought about that. And I've really kind of been concerned about, the loan terms. You might get a 10 to 15 year max loan balloon payment on your commercial loan. The interest rates aren't as good. The terms aren't as good. It's not 30-year fixed debt. But there's just no other way in this area to make a good return on your money. And even these major properties, I know a guy that has 400 units. No exaggeration. I don't know the exact number, but it could be like 410 or something. But it's like, he said like 400 units out of 13 buildings. So he owns 13 apartment building complexes himself. Well, with partners, private money and stuff like that. But he is struggling to find things to buy right now. And I don't know exactly what metrics he's using, what he needs, if he needs like a certain cash on cash return or an NOI or whatever. But I just thought to myself, I don't know any other way to make good, solid returns over time consistently than real estate. And I've done pretty well with my 2 fourplexes. So logic would dictate that I would just scale that, right? I would scale that. I would go from 4 units to 10 units to 20 to 50 to 100. So now that I know that that's the direction I want to go, because single families it's not it. Mobile home parks, maybe. RV parks, maybe. Commercial real estate, maybe. But I have mixed feelings about that, especially with everything that's going on with the work from home stuff because of Rona and I want to stay away from commercial. One, because I don't know enough about it. I'm not confident about it. What I do know is I know people, not businesses, people, human beings like me and you, need a roof over our head. And we're willing to pay money for that. So, that coupled with the fact that the economy is really tough right now, Things are very expensive because of inflation, including food and rents and gas and everything else. And the fact that I know single family homes are really unaffordable right now. I mean, I think we're like the least affordable it's ever been since like the 80s. So in like forever. That really leads me to believe that apartment buildings are where it's at, because you have more people helping you pay the mortgage. You have more people who will help, just cover the bill. And it's diversified. That's one thing that I know a lot of like the gurus talk about. They're already rich though. But like to keep their wealth, they like to diversify their income sources. Well, every single unit is an income source. It's a different person or a different family who has a different job that is going to continue to pay the bills as long as they possibly can, or move out eventually and buy a house. But if you think about it, if I have a 50-unit building with 50 different families with 50 different jobs, whether it be driving for Uber or Amazon, whether they're a dentist, a doctor, they work a management for a whatever, they're security, they own a nightclub, whatever, right? Whatever it is, all of those things are different. And the likelihood of all of them being impacted simultaneously, other than a worldwide pandemic, really gives me a sense of diversification among my asset. And it's still one asset, right? But you have all the different people in there as different avenues to make sure that the bills get paid. And that's really where I think I want to go. I think that's what makes most sense. So I'm going to start looking for other investors that either have or want multifamily properties. I know a guy, his name's Ryan, that I also met at a meetup, and me and him are talking about potentially doing a deal together. And really what that looks like is he's looking for money and I'm looking for the deal because I don't have any money. And I'm working with another investor, actually two, who I know have a lot of money. And they're looking for multifamily properties either here in Oregon or right above us in Washington. So I am going to actively, pretty much at the beginning of next month, I was going to look at my watch, but I don't have it on. But pretty much at the end of this month, I'm going to switch gears and I'm really going to start focusing on cold calling and reaching out to multifamily properties that are 5 to 50 units. I think anything above 50, you're probably I can't compete with Grant Cardone, right? So I can't compete with the big hedge funds either. So I think 50 units and lower is probably where I need to be. If I could find a 20 unit, a 15 unit, an 18 unit, a 27 unit or something like that, I think that's a good mix where you're still working with people instead of hedge funds and conglomerates, right? There might be a mom and dad, people, they're passing it down to their kids don't want it, they inherited it from their parents, and now they don't know what to do, they can't manage it anymore. So there's some of those personal aspects. Instead of working directly with like a business or a hedge fund or a board of directors where it's all about the numbers, right? You can actually talk with the owner of the property and maybe get some understanding, work out some terms, maybe work a deal where it makes sense for everybody. So that is the direction that I'm heading. And I just wanted to let you guys know that, if you're still interested in single family, if you're interested in flipping trailers, if you're interested in continuing to wholesale, whatever it is, that's fine. But think about the long term. Where do you want to go? How do you want to build your wealth? Do you want to build a business? Do you want to have a bunch of single family buy and holds? Do you want to invest out of state? Do you want to do Airbnbs? Do you want to do midterm rentals? Do you want to do affordable housing? Do you want to do development? What is your long-term goal for building wealth? And I think the thing that I believe in the most is multifamily properties, because I've done well with just 2 fourplexes. So, what could I do with a 20 unit or a 50 unit? So I think that's what I'm going to start looking at. I'm going to start diving into this, and I could be completely wrong, right? I could talk to hundreds of owners and find out that that's really not the space anymore. Maybe it was, just like storage units 5-10 years ago. Everybody was losing their stuff because the returns on that were so amazing. And then everybody dogpiled into it. And that decreased the cap rates. If you don't know what a cap rate is, Google it. But that compressed the cap rates, and it made the deal not as good because everybody wanted something and only a few people have them, right? So now they charge more. Same with single families, right? We're not building enough of those, at least where I'm at. So the price goes up. So figure out where you want to be long term. Obviously, there's a lot of ways to get there. There's wholesaling, there's flipping, there's a W-2 job, there's starting your own business, there's doing YouTube just like this and trying to make money off of it like I am, or whatever, right? But figure out where you want to go. Where are you going to get your biggest return? And just remember, you guys, you have to start planting today to reap your rewards later. Peace.